When lessons end at Gospel Oak Primary School in North London, you'd hardly know it. Pupils launch into a whole new range of activities.
You're going
to fill up your cups like this.
The school offers around 33 different clubs, and it was praised in its 2005 Ofsted for the range of activities provided.
It's fun and suppose you want to improve your dancing, here's a place to go and you can improve your dancing.
We learn our alphabets, we learn the vowels and stuff.
You get more 3D things to do, not just painting and all like that. That's what people think art club is all about, but it's not just that. So it's fun.
I want to learn better football.
It's a fantastic opportunity for me to learn about my own language and all that.
We cook fairy cakes, we're cooking fruit salad.
I thought it would be fun, and well, it is fun. And pick up the worms is probably my favourite bit.
Before I came to art, I didn't know actually how to draw, and now I know how to draw really good.
But even this school is going to have to do yet more in future. By 2010, the government wants to see all schools providing an additional range of extended services, including on-site childcare from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m, outings, parenting support, study support, referrals and community use of schools.
Recyclers are heroes, I like that.
Just providing what it already does is no mean feat for the staff.
Even in a big school like this, with some very keen people organising, we are not anywhere near meeting that agenda of providing extended cover for everyone who wants it. So what must it be like in a tiny village school where there are just 2 or 3 people working there? I can't even begin to imagine.
One major step towards extended schools provision at Gospel Oak has been the establishment of an after-school club on site. It's run by Camden Council's Play Service in a partnership typical of the way extended schools provision is expected to evolve. The club runs from 3:30 to 6:30 during term time, with working parents paying £4 a day. It's the only club at the school that charges. The activities offered are carefully considered.
I meant it, she said. Her husband was a giant.
We're looking to explore as much playing environment as we possibly can, so we kind of target around children's meetings and getting evaluation processes from the children as to what they enjoy mostly from out of school. So we try and come out of the whole environment of education and we keep to the theme of play.
Plans to offer a breakfast club had to be ruled out on grounds of cost, but not surprisingly, the after-school club is popular with working parents.
It's invaluable, because if there wasn't the after-school club, I wouldn't know what to do. When my daughter started here, I couldn't get any place in the play centre and I had to have different parents to pick her up, and it was very confusing and not very good. So it's very, very good to have it.
The school is happy that the after-school club is well run now, but it wasn't always so. Rectifying matters proved a valuable experience in dealing with outside contractors.
Frankly, we had to be quite forthright with the play service, even going as far as to say, if you can't improve this provision, then we'll terminate the contract and we'll set up our own play service. And they now have a very able leader in there. So my advice from this is be very robust with outside providers. Be very clear what you want. Remember it's your school, and go in there and insist. And don't. And if you can possibly be involved in appointments, that's a very good thing.
You're coming up with a ball, yeah? You get to here, drag, and away.
Mindful of the need to ensure high quality throughout its provision, the school has drawn on its extensive network of contacts. PE coordinator Jeff Gooding has played a key role in developing a range of sports clubs and ensuring appropriately qualified coaches are employed.
The problem is the quality of the coaching is very, very variable, and we've been very lucky to get a football coach that's come in, and I'm really happy with, first of all, his technical skills, but also his control discipline with the children, and also not having a win at all costs attitude. So he's ticks all 3 boxes.
Jeff also hired freelance dance tutor Sarah Coleman after she approached the school about setting up a street dance club. She was already running a successful club at another school in the borough.
We'll do it one more time. I want to see a lot of energy, getting lows, different levels.
We'll water them, won't we? Yeah. Then 2 weeks' time, we'll see them growing up nicely.
The school's gardening club evolved more gradually from the interests of parent volunteers, combined with the need to develop the school's outside spaces.
Firebrand, the red, right. And how deeply should we sow it?
1.5 centimetres.
Now, thanks to 3 volunteers and the deputy head, plus funding from sources including the PTA, it's flourishing every Friday.
Worms, they've eaten all the stuff, yeah, but they can't digest anymore, so we have to bring out all the mouldy stuff. I like getting myself dirty.
For Alan Seymour, many of the extracurricular activities must be primarily about children having fun.
My philosophy about the clubs that we provide goes back to, I guess, the central philosophy of the school is that we're here to serve children and to get as high standards as we can. And so the whole business of the clubs, although not central to the school, play an element in that. They're a fun part of coming to this school, and they inevitably have a positive effect on children's attitudes, which must benefit their learning across the whole curriculum.
Other aspects of the provision have a much more obvious impact on attainment. There are science, numeracy and literacy booster clubs, and learning mentor Kevin McCabe runs a homework club on Mondays and Tuesdays.
And where's the full stop here? The first full stop in this sentence is
here.
So it makes more sense, doesn't it? I wore a hat on my head. I think it just became apparent there were a lot of children who weren't completing homeworks for various reasons. Maybe they didn't know how to do it, maybe their parents couldn't help them, maybe they just didn't have the space at home or the equipment. So it was decided that through the learning mentor team here that we'd set up a homework club on 2 days a week to ensure children, the neediest children, got the help they needed. Let's read it again. I think of a number, so now we're thinking that this number is 8. Double it, which makes 16, doesn't it? And add 1. The answer is 17. What is my number? Are you going to put the answer in? Do you think it's right?
Yeah.
Good boy.
Sometimes when I'm at home, my parents are busy doing other stuff, and then they don't have time to help me, so I come here.
Sometimes I think it's a bit difficult with all the noise at home, and at here, you're not the only one that's doing your homework.
Well, the feedback we've been getting from parents and teachers are that they're really pleased that their children are completing homeworks that they haven't been doing before. And obviously, through not doing it before, it was always causing a problem. There was always some sort of rift, either between the parent and the child, or between the teacher and the child. So now that the children know that they can come to homework club, they can kind of relax over the weekend. They're not worried when they come to school because they know that they can do it. They'll have a space provided and equipment provided.
Next one. Banana. Where did you see a banana?
Unusually, the school boasts a Belgian club. The school's Belgian-born French language assistant teaches the pupils not just French, but also about Belgian culture.
Well done, it's correct, isn't it?
Pa e madhe shkrimit, pa e vogël e shkrimit. Dhe masani fillojna me shkru.
Këtë kursoj të kusaj. Bol, shoj, boy.
A quick tour of the buildings at 3:45 on Monday afternoon reveals yet another facet of the diverse provision at the school. 42% of the pupils are learning English as an additional language, and the school offers weekly language clubs in Somali, Albanian and Bengali. They're funded by Camden Council's refugee budget and run by teaching assistants, some of whom are also parents. The clubs are themselves a response to demand from parents and work to the benefit of all.
We know that The more secure a child's home language is, the more grasp they have of their own home language, grammar, and how language per se works, that will transfer into learning their English. And what we found quite strongly now is those children that speak their home language at home and speak English in school actually do better than those who speak a mixture at home and English in school, because they don't seem to have that thorough grounding. A lot of the children now are losing their home languages. Their parents don't want them to, so there's pressure from the parents for the children to come.
I go to Somali club because it helps me bolster my Somali, which I could talk to the adult Somalis in very good ease.
I think there are social spin-offs, certainly self-esteem spin-offs. I think it's good to know that your own home language and you as a member of a minority community are respected and wanted.
To date, funding for all the extracurricular provision has come from a range of sources, including a 3-year grant from the Big Lottery, obtained in conjunction with Camden Council. It's a time-consuming process.
In terms of the consultation with parents, going to school council, working out what people wanted, the annual monitoring, the termly monitoring took up a fair amount of time, but you know, it was worth it.
The next challenge is to find fresh sources of funding.
In order to sustain the clubs after October 2008, we will have to find roughly £13,500 to run them in the current provision. That's most of the clubs, not all the clubs. And so we will be looking for money from outside sources, I expect. There is the personalisation element of the grants is at least part of that. But sure, yes, after 2008 we'll be looking for more money. There is money out there, and we'll just have to try and find it.
Although future finances may be uncertain, Alan Seymour has very definite views on why his school offers all that it does, and they will guide future developments there.
The government's agenda on extended schools, it seems to me, is more of an economic one than it is an educational one. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get people back into work and to offer them the opportunities, and it makes sense that schools can play a part in that. However, to put all the responsibility that they are doing onto schools, I think is very unfair. I also think that we should, any of this kind of provision should be centrally about children, and they have to come number one. So we run the clubs for them.